Welcome everybody to the 10-minute Likutei Halachos Parsha Shiur for Parshas Vayishlach Tafshin Pei. So this Parsha, this idea that we're going to bring down here is so fantastic and so applicable, and I feel very personally connected to it. I'm very excited to give it over. There's a few concepts in here that require some background knowledge that would take us a very long time to go into. So I'm not going to go into them. I'll tell you that this concept that we're going to talk about right now of Nasa v'Nishma, if you want to see more into it, look in Torah Chav Beis, Torah 22, in the first chelik of Likutei Moharan, to be able to understand it on a deeper level and how it relates to this idea. But let's get going. So like this. We know that there's a concept that there's different powers that are available to us, different powers in the world. And these powers can be used by us and brought into the realm of Kedusha, of holiness. And if we don't do that, these powers are going to be usurped and drawn up by the negative forces. One of these powers is Malchus, that we've talked about before. And in relation to this Dvar Torah now, the power is the power of azus, of brazenness, boldness. There's such a thing as azus de sitra achra, azus of the evil side, azus of negativity. And this type of brazenness was personified by Esav HaRasha. And he personified it he expressed it by, for example, being a person who just hunted whatever he wanted, and ate whatever he wanted, and took whatever woman he wanted, and did whatever he wanted with her. He was a bold, brazen person in a very negative way. And on the other hand, using that power of boldness for the right purposes was Yaakov Avinu, who was the personification of azus de Kedusha. Boldness, brazenness of Kedusha. How does that express itself? How does a person of Kedusha express boldness? This type of person will do Ratzon Hashem no matter what the circumstances are. Like it says in the very beginning of the Shulchan Aruch, if there's people who are going to be mocking me, or I'm embarrassed to do mitzvahs, I'm embarrassed to behave like a Jew, I'm embarrassed to be seen acting in a Jewish way, Chas v'shalom, I should be bold, I should be brazen, I should have azus de Kedusha, to go and do what I know is the right thing, even though people may look at me funny, may mock me. That's azus de Kedusha. So Hashem sent Yaakov Avinu against Esav, because Yaakov Avinu was the one who had this azus de Kedusha, who was able to overcome the azus de sitra achra, the negative brazenness. And that's what we have to do also. But how did he get to that level? How did he get there? So this is the part that Rabbi Nachman talks about in Torah Chav Beis, that a Yid needs to have this constant relationship with the idea of Nasa v'Nishma. Nasa v'Nishma, in this deeper level, we know that Nasa v'Nishma usually means, what it means in a simple understanding, is that when we were going to receive the Torah, Hashem said, are you going to take the Torah? And we said, Nasa v'Nishma, we will do it. We're taking the job, we're going to do it, and we'll understand it later. We don't need the details. We want to do it. We want to be close to Hashem. We want the Torah. Nasa v'Nishma. On a deeper level, Nasa v'Nishma means two other things. Nasa v'Nishma means that a Yid always wants to go from one level to the next. I should always be striving to go higher and higher. Nasa is my current level, Nishma is the higher level. And I always want to make the Nishma my Nasa. So I'm always moving up. And when I make that Nishma my Nasa, that means I have a new Nishma, right? And a new level to get to, a new something that I can attain. They also connect to the concept of Torah and Tefillah. Nasa represents Torah and Nishma represents Tefillah. But Nishma is Tefillah specifically because we say that the Leiv Shemeya, the Pasuk says the Leiv Shemeya, the heart hears, right? That's listening is connected to the heart. And also we know that the heart is connected to Tefillah. Ezu avodah shebeleiv, what is the service of the heart? Tefillah, right? Tefillah is in the heart. So Nishma, which means to hear, which is connected to the heart, is also connected to Tefillah. So Nasa is Torah and Nishma is Tefillah. Through the fact that Yaakov had Torah and tremendous Torah, high levels of Torah and tremendous levels of Tefillah, this is what got him to this level of boldness, of azus de Kedusha. Listen to what Reb Nosson says. The pasuk in this week's Parsha, when Yaakov comes to meet Esav and sends out his servants or his angels in front of him, he says to him, Im Lavan garti, I lived with Lavan, and I waited until now. So Reb Nosson explains that Im Lavan garti, Rashi says, V'saryag mitzvahs shamarti, and I kept the 613 mitzvahs. Zeh b'chinas Torah. This is to show us that Yaakov came to Lavan, Yaakov came to Esav with Torah. The 613 mitzvahs are learned from the Torah. Va'eichar adata, and I waited until now. Ze bechinas tefillah. This is referring to tefillah. What does that mean? Hainu she'amar lo. He said to Esav, Afal pisha shemarti kol taryag mitzvahs v'zachisi l'Torah. Even though I kept all the mitzvahs, all the 613 mitzvahs while I was in Lavan, and I merited to have a very high level of Torah. Afal pikein eini mistapek bezeh. But that was not enough for me. I was not satisfied with this. Vani mechake umetzape umisgageya beretzonis chazakim tamid. I waited and I longed and I desired with tremendous desire always lalois midarga ledarga, to go from one level to the next. Lasois mihanishma nase, to make that higher level of nishma into my nase. Al yedei ribui hatefillah, through tremendous amounts of tefillah, of prayer. V'zehu va'eichar adata, and this is what it means, va'eichar, and I waited until now. Va'ani misacher umismameya b'retzones chazakim, meaning what? I was misacher. Va'eichar is misacher. I waited and I longed and I desired with tremendous strong desires until I merited to the bechina, to the concept of ata, to be now. Shehu bechinas tefillah, which is this whole realm of tefillah. Bechinas nishma, which is nishma. Okay, so we know now that Yaakov came with the Taryag mitzvahs, with Torah, and with tremendous davening, va'eichar. I was longing and desiring to get to this point of ata, of now. Let's see how now, ata, also refers to tefillah, and even something else. Pasuk says, Bechinas ve'ata Yisrael, ma Hashem Elokecha dorish me'imach. And now, Yisrael, now, ata, what does Hashem ask from you? Ki'im le'yira, only to have awe for Him, to have awe for Hashem. Shu bechinas tefillah, and yira is actually a code word for tefillah. How do we see it? Because the pasuk says, Yiras Hashem hi tishalal. The yira of Hashem, awe of Hashem, yira is tishalal, is halal, is prayer. Yira is connected to prayer. So when Hashem says, what do I now, Yisrael, what do I want from you now, ata? Ki'im le'yira. I want your fear, I want your awe, I want your tefillah. That's what I want from you. So ata, we see another way that it means tefillah. How else does ata mean tefillah? This pasuk that says, V'ata Yisrael ma Hashem Elokecha shoel mimach. The Chazal darshan that al tikri ma, don't read ma, ela mea. Read mea, 100. Change that word ma to mea, the pronunciation of it. Meaning what? This is the source that we know that we have to say 100 brachas every day. 100 brachas every day is called klal ha-tefillah. It means my whole existence is wrapped up in tefillah. And so va'eichar ata is showing that Yaakov came with tremendous strong tefillah. But there's another aspect, another very, very important, unbelievable, awesome aspect from the word ata, now. And it goes like this. I'm skipping over a lot here, so we have time to hear the whole thing. That there's a special way for a Jew to live. That I live my life and my day is filled with the proper way of living. Chaim amitim is one of the ways that Rabbi Nachman talked about. True living. And it's called arichas yomim. That means length of days. It doesn't mean that I have a lot of days, that I get very old. It means that my day is so filled up with goodness. It's like that goodness could have taken place over a lot of days, but I brought all that goodness into one day. That's called arichas yomim. And that, living my life like that, is the way that I want to be. That's a bechina of the word ata. And it comes out like this. How do we do this? How do we live in this way? Sheha'ikarhu al yedei she'ein choshvin b'daitoi ki im oisei hashav ve'arega shebe'oisei hayoim. The main way to do this is that a person should only be thinking of the moment, the hour of the day that I'm in right now. I should be thinking right now. What am I supposed to be doing right now? What can I do right now? How can I live life to the fullest right now? And I don't think from today to the next day. Today, I don't think about tomorrow. And this hour right now, I don't think about the next hour. This is what it means. Ve'ata, and now, what does Hashem ask from us? only to fear Him, only to have awe for Him now. Meaning, I don't need to think about yesterday. I don't need to think about tomorrow. Hashem wants me to have awe for Him right now. Hashem wants me to have yira, to daven to Him right now, to be connected to Him right now. This is what it means. Va'echar ad ata. I couldn't wait. I was longing and desiring to live my life in this way of ata, of now. What does it mean? It means like this. A person can very, very easily be torn down and become tremendously depressed and sad and paralyzed in their avodas Hashem because of my thoughts of the past. What are the thinking of the things that's happened to me over the last little while, over my whole life, all the difficulties I've been facing? It can make it hard to get out of bed in the morning if I'm living in that past. And the other way around also. If I'm very stressed about the future, what's going to be with Parnasa, what's going to be with my kids, I'm full of anxiety. And if I'm full of depression from the past or of anxiety for the future, I'm not living right now. I'm not living my life the way I should be right now. I'm not living in ata, in now. So he says a little bit weiter. He says like this. He says like this. He says, even the great tzaddikim need to always have this aspect in order to go from level to level and to always be growing closer to Hashem. They need to be living in this realm of ata. Umikol shekein, and all the more so, hanamuchim, me'oid, the lower people like us, that are holding on our levels and are facing our challenges and our difficulties that we have. We have to enliven ourselves and give ourselves strength. Bekoyach HaTzadikim is in taking advice from these tzaddikim. To do what? Lachtoif b'chol pam eze eis v'rega sheborchin mehara. To take at every moment that I can flee from ra, from evil. V'choytfim eze nekuda toiva, and I can grab a hold of some type of goodness, some type of good point from that moment. V'chein b'chol pam, and every day, every moment, I got to look for the good in that moment and look for how I can connect to Hashem at that moment. Mamish. V'chein v'chol pam. Ki'ish kazeh, because a person like this, when we're in difficulty and facing challenges and we're living in the world that we live in today, im yirtzeh lachshev harvei al masha avar, if he wants to always be thinking about what happened in the past, v'lidoeg al masha yiyeh, and worry about the future, yuchal latzeis midaitoi, says Reb Nosson. A person could go out of their mind. Lishtagea mamish chas v'shalom, and mamish go crazy thinking in this way. V'chol chiyusoi v'kiyumoi hurak mibechinas ata. A person's whole kiyum, endurance, and liveliness comes from this aspect of ata, of living now, being present now, and focusing on what's going on now. So in today's day and age, this is such great advice and such chizuk. This can help us so much because, who isn't facing difficulties from the past and stress from the future? Who isn't worried about money, about children, about what's going to be? Everyone is pulled in every different direction, and our existence now is even worse because the world is so connected electronically. There's so many different things to do. We're so busy. Every moment of our lives is taken up. We're being pulled here and there and here and there and here and there. It's almost impossible to focus on ata, to be in the now, because of everything that's going on. And this is the advice that Reb Nosson is giving us. If we want to be a person of azus de kedusha, we want to have this boldness of holiness, to be able to do Ratzon Hashem in whatever the circumstance is. We need to focus on this existence of ata, of being in the now. We need to build our Torah on the one hand. We need to build our tefillah on the other hand. And those things together and focus on the now. That's going to give us the power to be able to exist in the realm of Kedusha in these difficult times. Be'ezus Hashem, we should take the advice of Yaakov, that when Yaakov came to overcome the azus, the sitra achra, the evil brazenness of Esav, he brought Torah with him, and he brought tefillah with him, and he focused on this concept of living now with what Hashem has given to me now. We should be able to block out the negativities and the falsehood of the past and the future, and to not be pulled down by these negativities, and every moment of our lives connect to Hashem, connect to goodness, connect a little tefillah, a little bit of mitzvahs, whatever we can do in every moment to exist in our connection with Hashem and holiness. And Be'ezus Hashem, we'll take this advice and we'll live chayim amitim with arichas yomim. Be'ezus Hashem, good Shabbos.